Hey guys, what's up? Endgame with my updated Rake Evade Spiritborn build, the currently best Diablo 4 Season 10 build. Huge shout out to Makuna and his crew that basically cooked the build, and I will also link his build into the description. So now let's head directly into the Pit 120 showcase. After the showcase, I will show you the complete build, how this build will work, how this build will set up, which tempers you need, which crit you need to take. So make sure to watch the video until then to fully understand the build. I will answer some questions that some of you guys asked me in the comments on YouTube, Reddit or Discord. So what do you need for this build? So you need a Chaos Kepeleke, Sepasonic, Heisha Ikensugi and Harmon of EB Walker. I will explain later how this all works. And Fist of Fate is optional. You don't need this. You can add this later on. This will just give you even more damage. And before that, go for the pure speed farm of your evade. You can also check my guide out to it. And speed farm the Chaos Unix. Do not play this build if you only have like a Chaos Kepeleke or a Chaos Sepasonic. Yeah, you can play this build, but this build will feel really bad until you have all the puzzles together. And especially with Sepasonic, Chaos Kepeleke and Heisha is a pretty large of your synergy that you kinda need to just not have a bad time. Also, why I'm randomly dying, and that was asked a lot because the build has definitely some huge defensive problems because we need to get all of our Chaos Unix and only our Harmony of EB Walker has a damage reduction on it. So I would give you the advice not only to get a chair on it, which would give you around 22+% damage reduction. You can also try to at least double crit it and then get the last crit on your all stats. If you don't need, if you want to play a squishy build, then go for all stats. But if you want to be on the safer side, go for a triple crit damage reduction. I think you can get about 35% of damage reduction alone on your Harmony, which is amazing. And also get all of your max life nodes from your Paragon board. This is also pretty important, so you will have easier time. And also get a GA max life value on your ring as also on your weapon, so that's also important. I'm also having a non-GA on my ring and weapon right now, and I can definitely feel this, so this will be one of my next priorities to upgrade both of them. So in addition, also use the counter attack at dangerous encounter. It is pretty good because with the counter attack you will dodge all direct attacks for 3 seconds. That can be your lifesaver if you have this on, for example, the Lilith encounter when it will appear in the pit, or the Elias when he shoots out his fireballs that are turbo deadly. So also use counter attack on that. So you also need to time your counter attack on that. Also avoid the void zones because that's also a problem. You can just take care of the enemies when they have like explosive tech or something. Then also cast the counter attack when the void zones are nearby, when the monsters are dying or when you can see them. And besides that, just kind of evade weaving. You will still die from time to time. Yeah, even on my Pit 125 max clear, I died I think 2 or 3 times. How do we get 100% Protector uptime? So get a GA on your Heisha Ikensugi. It's the second prior after Gorilla skills. So first get your Gorilla skills at GA, then the GA on your CDR, and then temper your Protector CDR and triple crit this on your ring, plus your Wildfire Cleave and your CDR of your Rake should give you enough of your cooldown reduction to get a 100% Protector uptime. This is pretty important because this will give a total multiplier of 1.2 when you're fighting against a boss. Do we need mythics? No, we don't need any mythics. This will work only with Chaos Unix. How to get armor for Unyielding? So we don't cap the Unyielding armor because we cannot simply, but get 2 perfect skulls on your rings and get your armor through Paragon board. Get a GA total armor on your armor and also an armor temper on your armor. This should also help you, and this should get you around 3.5k armor or something. Don't put the Unyielding hits on the amulet. I did this on my first video, but it is way worse than just playing with your Unyielding hits on your ring because you will lose a lot of damage on your other aspect. So now also the resource cost reduction, because we need 75% resource cost reduction. How can we achieve this? Get JR fix on your both rings with resource cost reduction on your weapon. Also temper your first ring with your resource cost reduction, then crit it 3 times, or also crit your FX, or also crit your GA on your ring, and then also get the resource cost reduction on your MU, and also get a GA resource cost reduction on your weapon, as I said, and then crit it 1 time, and also get an incense with resource cost reduction. Now after the showcase, I will show you how this build will set up. If you have some questions on this build or until now, please ask them in the comments down below. You kind of need 4 Kersonic, so you don't need Fists of Fate, but you 100% need Rod of Kepelege, Harmony of Ebe Walker, Sepasonic, and Hesha Ekonsugi, because they all have a synergy together, and without any of these uniques, this build would work, but it will be way worse. First of all, we're gonna use Rod of Kepelege, so our skills are now basic skills and they don't need any resource, and after we acquired maximum vigor, we're gonna cast our Rake with a maximum size and with a guaranteed crit with a 0.9% increased critical strike damage. But because our Rake is now a basic skill, we can also use now the combined strike, so your base core skills hit an additional times in a large area for 40% increased damage, but also have a 10-second cooldown. Your basic skills, third attack resets the cooldown on your core skills. So in addition, we also have the unstable power, so that means that our Rake will crit and overpower every time, but has a 3-second cooldown. But how can we counter that? Well, now the Thunder Spike comes in place. So thanks to the accelerated Thunder Spike, we're gonna cast our Thunder Spike along the way every time we're gonna use our evade. As you can see, the third attack pierces further, dealing damage and reducing your evade cooldown by 5 seconds. So that means we can reduce our evade cooldown every third attack. So now thanks to the Sepasonic, we are always casting with our third attack. So we are always gonna reset our evade through our Thunder Spike. That's also important. You have your Thunder Spike on your skill bar, but you won't use it at any time. Just have it on your skill bar and it will get casted automatically every time. So that's also the reason why we can reset the cooldown of our Rake, because of our combined strikes, your basic skills. That attack resets the cooldown on your core skills. So that means with every cast of our evade and from our Thunder Spike, we're gonna reset our cast of the combined strikes. So that's the first combo, why it is so strong. Then in addition, we have the Harmony of Ebe Walker, so we're gonna get additional 48% increased damage per spirit type, and because our Rake is a checker skill, we're gonna cast it now with a Gorilla skill tag, also for unyielding hits, and in addition with the Eagle skill tag, because thanks to our Harmony of Ebe Walker, our secondary hall is also now our main hall multiplier. So that means we have 3 spirit tags which we're gonna attack with, and that's also a pretty huge damage multiplier. And now on top of that, and that's also pretty important, is Heisha E Kasugi. It will give us first of all up to 15 gorilla skills if we can triple crit this with a GA. But in addition, the Protector can be invoked at range and pulls inward with it meshes. Enemies in this area take 60% increased damage, and this will get doubled, so they will get 1.2 times more damage when they're pulled in, and we can get such a huge chunk of damage on the enemies. So that is the reason why this combo is so strong, and you kind of need all of the combo. Can get a Fist of Fate to build. It is not mandatory if you won't have your Fist of Fate. You need to have your cloths with armor, resource cost reduction, and either Rake or Dex, and then also with the aspect of touch as your legendary fix, so you can make the enemies vulnerable, because that's the problem that we have with this build. We don't have a good way to apply vulnerable, because thanks to our vital strikes we are constantly doing more damage against vulnerable enemies, but we're gonna consume the vulnerable fix every time we're gonna cast. With a Fist of Fate and a potential of your GA of your Fist of Fate, you won't have that problem, and you will have 100% to make your enemies vulnerable, so that's also pretty huge and pretty good. Try to get a Fist of Fate with a J on your vulnerable and also your lucky hit chance. So now for your potions and your incenses, we are gonna use the Song of the Mountain to get more armor. We're gonna use our soothing spices, and we also gonna use our Queen Supreme for more decks. So N for your potion, get the elixir of resourcefulness, because you will get 25% maximum resource resource. That means that you will do more damage with Kerkyboi, and also you're gonna get additional resource cost reduction. If you have some questions regarding that, please ask them in comments down below. So now for the full breakdown of our gear. As I said, we have Fists of Fate. You won't have a greater affix of your lucky chance and also the vulnerable enemies, and you want to triple crit your lucky chance. You have a higher lucky hit to make enemies vulnerable, which means also more damage. That's really important. This will be a huge damage multiplier. In addition, for rune words, we have the Pog Quacks combo on it. After we spend 400% of our maximum resource, we gonna get 100% more blast damage, which is also with every second attack of our Rake. That is pretty important. So now for our chest, we have the Rod of Kerkyboi, and you need to have a 100% chance for core skills to hit twice. What does this mean? So right now I have 60% chance for Rake on extra hit. With my chest total, I only have like 80% of our chance for core skills or Rake to hit twice. So I normally would want to have this higher. But first of all, I don't have any of my Masterwork mods left. As you can see, only 22 million gold. And I honestly kind of don't want to go for a triple crit, which I will then later scrap, because if you have a GA on your chance for core skills twice, you will get this if you have just a double crit. If you have a GA on your core skills hit twice on your Rod of Kerkyboi, only get a double hit on your chance for Rake. Otherwise, you can also try to get a single hit on your chance for core skills hit twice. So make sure you have a 100% uptime of your core skills or Rake to cast twice. Other than that, try to get a GA on your maximum resource, and also try to triple crit this if you don't need the chance for core skills, because this will give you more damage. More maximum resource means more damage from Rod of Kerkyboi. We're also going to do more damage for aspect of adaptability, and we're also going to do more damage with the modifier of Rod of Kerkyboi. So then for our Harmony of Ebewaka, and here is your clear goal: get a GA on your all stats and damage reduction, and you can try to triple crit your damage reduction, so you won't have at least that hard time when you're facing against tougher enemies. But you can also go for all stats for more maximum damage, for more hit pushing damage potential. Then for a Supersonic, get your J on your chance for basic skills to deal double damage, and triple crit this, so you will have best support for your skills to do more damage. Now to your Hesher, get a J to your gorilla skills and try to triple crit this. This will give you around 15 to gorilla skills, which is huge. As you can see, my Rake has a 18 rank only because of Hesher, and I also thought I need to get a J on ultimate cooldown reduction to have a 100% uptime of my protector. But honestly, because of our Rake CD from our adventures Rake, which reduces our active cooldown by 0.5 seconds, and in addition also the wildfire cliff that will also get us an additional active cooldown reduction when we're gonna do fire damage. It is kind of enough, so it is the best if you're gonna get your ultimate cooldown reduction as your J, but your first priority will be the gorilla skills. But to get this as your greater affix, it's way more important. So now for your weapon, get the aspect of Wild Claws in it. It is pretty crazy. It will do so much damage, and it will also constantly produce a second Rake. And for your weapon, get a whole arm, so we're gonna deal 100% more vulnerable damage. We don't need the quarter stuff because we cannot attack faster, because cooldown on our Rake, it is wasted here, the more attacks. And for your stats, go for a dexterity, maximum life, but it is really important to get a GA on your resource cost reduction, and please hit it once, so you're gonna get your cap on your vigor cost reduction. And in addition, take 2 temper crits on your chance for Rake to activate twice, and as I said, you want to hit this with a 100% with your Rod of Kerkyboi. And for rune words, get a gem loom, so after we cast Evade, we're gonna restore 52 primary resource. This will also help us to get more of our resource for our Rake. Now for amulet, and this is by far the worst armor I got. So you ideally want to have a GA dexterity, GA total armor, and also GA potent, and then triple crit your potent. But yeah, I have a completely dead stat, and the GA total armor is good, but I also want to kind of have a GA dex on it. And for a temper, go for total armor and also resource cost reduction. And for the aspect, we have the aspect of adaptability. This will give us a huge damage multiplier. Then for first ring, that's pretty important. You need to get all res stat on it, so you will max out your all res. It would be even better to get a GA all res, but that can be kind of hard because your first priority is a GA on your resource cost reduction, and then for your third stat get a dexterity stat on it, and then for your temper you will have overpower damage as also the protector cooldown reduction, and you want to hit the protector cooldown reduction 3 times, so you only have like a cooldown of 8 or 7 seconds as you can see here. And for your second ring, get a dexterity, maximum life, and also resource cost reduction SGA on your affixes, and then get overpower damage and also resource cost reduction on your temper. And you also want to have dex, max life, and resource cost reduction, and J your resource cost reduction, and then also triple crit your resource cost reduction on your ring, and also go for overpower. And for your aspects, you go for the unyielding hits, as also the aspect of redirect force, more for more crit strike damage, and here for more armor. So as you can see, we can try to gear up some armor to get more damage, but basically you are kind of capped because you can only get the armor from your Paragon tree, which is not that enough honestly. And other than that, you get this on 2 of your armor slots with skulls, and then you can also get this only on your amulet with a total armor. And for the third slot, you're gonna get a diamond for more all res, and for your armor you get a dexterity gem into it. So now for a skill tree, as I said, the Thunder Spike as also the accelerated Thunder Spike, this is pretty important to get your cooldown reduction. Then for your core skills, max your Rake, as also an enhanced Rake you will get. Otherwise, stacks of velocity, which is not that important because we won't be affected by attack speed, but the advantages Rake is pretty important, and always use the active cooldown of our spells. Then also go for Vigorous, so we can get Vigor generation after we casted a core skill, which will help our Rod of Kerkyboi get our Vigor faster back up. Then also get Balance Exertion, which will also gonna do 15% more damage with our Rake. And then we also have Follow Through, so this means we're also gonna do more damage with our Rake because it is now a basic skill. Then for your focus skills, max out your unrestrained power, max out your apex, and max out your focal point for lucky chance to make enemies vulnerable, and also 2 points into Mishment for some damage reduction from vulnerable enemies. And then for defensive skills, go 1 point into Armored Hide, as also the adaptable Armored Hide, and you're gonna heal for your maximum life after you evaded through your enemies, and also get enhanced Armored Hide, so you will have a maximum resolve and maximum block reduction. Then also get counter attack, and you only want to have counter attack because reinforced counter attack, this will give you up to 30% more crit strike damage. You will try to activate counter attack in dangerous situations when you have like a bubble that will blow up, or a Lilith encounter in your hit boss setup when he's gonna do her waves or something. You will have more toughness and resilience. Then we also gonna go for 1 point to Patient Guard as also auspicious, so we have some natural and passive variation. Then go for 1 point into Scourge. It's also the Reinforced Scourge. This will let us do more damage because of the controlled enemies, but it will also give us 60% of our maximum vigor back, which also helps us with the Rod of Kerkyboi, which is nice. Then for potion skills, we're gonna get 3 points into Brilliance, as also 3 points into Acceleration. That means we're gonna get a lot of more damage because our Rake is a Eagle skill now because of our Hormone of EB Walker. You can see this will get the second attack, and through our Eagle we have this now with 3 attacks, as you can see, Jaguar, Gorilla, and Eagle. And then we're gonna get a lot of damage, and you also kind of want to max out your movement speed. So right now I am not having my maximum movement speed, I'm only having 115% movement speed, so this can be even better. And then go for 3 points into Potent, gonna deal more damage after we hit enemies with our Jaguar skills. 1 point into Furnace, so we're gonna deal more crit stack damage per stack of ferocity. I will maybe go for more points into this, so we do even more damage. Then also max Resilient is also dominant for more Gorilla skill damage. Then for all ultimate skills, only put 1 point into Protector because we won't need the rank 5 of it. Then max out your Harmonious and Exalted Protector for support, and then for your passives go for Resolution. We're gonna deal more damage after we cast an ultimate skill. Also against the boss it's doubled. Then go for max of Spiritual Attunement. We're gonna get more Vigor, which also means more damage of a Rod of Kepeleke. Also go for Supremacy, and last but not least your key passive, go for Vital Strike. You need to constantly vulnerable your enemy either for effect of a Cursed Touch, or if you have a Fist of Fate with a GA lucky chance to make enemies vulnerable. Now for our Paragon board, and we're gonna start with the Wildfire. So as I said, Wildfire will synergy pretty heavily with our Rake, an advantageous Rake, and this will let us use the cooldowns of all of our spells, so that's pretty neat. You will also max out these dex nodes here, so you will get more damage with your Wildfire, and you will also get tenacity, get more max life, because max life means more overpower damage. So for your first board you will get Drive, so we're gonna do more damage after we move 10 meters. Also get Kenny for more non-physical damage, and also get some vulnerable damage here. Then quickly go to your third board, then get Convergence here, and the good thing is Kenny will directly help us with Convergence. As you can see, if we have Convergence off, we will get normally less damage, but because we have things like Runes, we'll get so many damage either way. As you can see, we'll take more of them off, we're gonna have less. So yeah, it is pretty good because I'm already like a high Paragon level. Then also get your Spirit and max out your dex nodes here, so you get more Spirit support. Also get your res nodes here early on, also max life, these are pretty important. And also get your res nodes here, so you will have at least a better time and don't die that much. And then for your second last board, get Revealing, which will also have a chance to knock down the enemies. They're vulnerable, and we're gonna deal more damage against crowd control enemies. And then also get the Revenge, we're gonna deal more damage after we deal Thorns damage, and because we're gonna deal Thorns damage, because through our Protector, we will always have this buff up. Thanks to the Revenge, we have a 218% bonus to all rare nodes. That means we're gonna get more damage with Artifice, vulnerable damage, and also more damage with Venom Weaver. And as I can see, I will get even more damage now. I get my strength bonus up, so always look on that. Always try to get your bonus up. That's also pretty important, while you're gonna get your all stats maxed on your Harmony of Ebe Waka. So for your last board, get Tapping, so you're gonna deal more damage, the more of your Spirit House you use, but we are having all Spirit House, gonna use them either way. And then also get things like Resilience or more Always, and also get things like Always here, you don't need to attack it here. And then also take your Menaceress, we're gonna get more bonus to all magic nodes, and because we're gonna get more maximum resource here, that also means we're gonna get directly more damage funnel into our Rod of Kepeleke. And see here, I also need to get more strength, so we'll get maximum resource. So my next idea is also to get a GA all stats on our Harmony of Ebe Waka, and then at least double credit. For Spirit Hall, get Gorilla as also Eagle, and for a Mercenary, get Yura here with Crown Slam, then get Always, so you have more Always, and then Bastion, you will get effective and deal more increased damage. For your Reinforcement, get Altkin with any skill in combat, or you can also get this on your counter attack. So the skill rotation is pretty easily Perma Evade, and also Perma cast Rake, Perma cast your Scourge, also your Armored Hide, and cast a Protector if you want to group up the enemies, or just press it whenever you want, and cast counterattack for tough. So I hope I could do a cool build guide update, and with this build guide you will 100% just clear everything in the game. It is a pretty good build, it is the best build right now. And if you still have some questions, please ask them in the comments. And please leave a like and a sub, my channel tremendously, and until next video, bye.